All right, listen, I'm gonna drop some very important business etiquette when dealing with other people on loans or borrowing things or anything where you're gonna be at risk of lending something to someone. Always, always, always have paperwork documentation on what you are lending out, how much you're lending out, who you're lending it to, and the date that is effective of the lending. No matter who it is, it could be your mom, your brother, your best friend, your dog, your cat, anybody you're lending something to. When you're lending it out, have very clear contract terms on what is happening within this agreement between you two. I give so-and-so $20,000 on this day, and we're gonna have an established payment plan. When writing out a contract on what you guys are agreeing to the terms, have them put up a collateral, whether it's their like PS5, their fancy computer that they got, their car. Their car is a good one, and if they do their car has to be paid for in full. You don't want to take a car that they don't have a title for because they haven't finished payments with the dealership, so they have to have the car title given to you and signed. You have to have it signed. You don't need it dated. And then also, to further strengthen that with the car, get them to write a bill of sale. Well, depending on which state you're from, you need an official bill of sale document from the DOL, or if it's sufficient, have a handwritten out one. If the loan is not satisfied by a certain amount of time, you get to keep their car, and they also continue to pay you, because it's not like, here, you take my car and then I don't pay you. No. It's, I take your car and you still have to pay me. Like, you have to be ruthless in these kinds of transactions, because again, we're separating friends and business. Because you could hang out with your friend, you could be cool with your friend, whatever, unless they start burning you, then, they're not a very good friend. But if you guys are able to be cordial and hang out and etc., great, that's fine. Just make sure the business aspect is satisfied. And then also, be very clear on payment plans. You have to have a very clear payment plan on how much you expect to have every month. If they falter on the monthly, there is penalties for each late monthly payment or unsatisfactory monthly payments. Throw in like a 10% interest, or maybe like a 20%, however you want to be. But minimum, I would say at least 10% interest on whatever payment that needs to be paid. And you got to clarify on 10% of the payment for the month, or 10% on the remaining balance, and what is going to be owed there. So for example, if it's $500 that they have to pay you every month, it's $50. Easy. You owe me an additional $50, but make sure that all the terms are agreed upon, because also the person who's writing out this document can be very unfavorable to you. Let's say, like, if you're late on the payments by 2 weeks, I get to keep everything. And it's like, no, you don't want to agree to terms like that. You want to have something that's going to be mutually beneficial, because again, you're going to be borrowing something from someone. It is also viewed both ways too. If you're someone who's known for borrowing a lot of things all the time, and that you don't want to get burned, have your own form of a contract. Like, here, I am willing to do these terms, and then present it to them, and then you guys can edit and adjust the contract so that it's favorable for both parties and covers both of your guys' asses, and in case this doesn't work out for some reason. And add in additional terms. This is one that I keep messing up on, is having terms of, if the debt or loan is not satisfied by, this will accrue the debtor to owe me XYZ, and that could be anything. And sometimes it needs to be extreme, but make sure that whatever asset that you're assessing has equal or more value to what you're loaning out to whoever you're loaning it to. Establishing those terms clearly, and that both parties are going to agree to. And then lastly, if the debt is not resolved in the given amount of time, there will be fees, there will be added penalties that are going to take place if the debt is not resolved by the certain amount of time that you guys agree upon. You need to be clear about that kind of stuff, because people will take advantage of you if the terms are not clear. I'm dealing with something like that right now, where I was told, because again, I trusted this person, I was told I was going to be receiving my loan plus an additional amount in return by a certain amount of time. We are now lapsing into 2 years, well over a year and a half past the time that I was told I was going to be repaid. I'm a little frustrated about it, but I have to be patient, because that was my fault in the deal making by having too much trust in someone. And it wasn't that they were burning me, it's that some of the things that were taking place were just not accounted for. And if I'm able to share that knowledge and keep you guys from making the same mistakes that I've been making, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do my best to help you guys from getting burned in a bad business deal. And additionally, on the collateral portion of the agreement that you guys are making, you have to take possession of the thing that they are offering. So if it's a car, you need a signed title with a bill of sale that states clearly what the terms are, that if the debtor faults on the loan, you're going to be taking their car. And also in the contract subsection that they will continue to pay you. And if it's a different materialistic things such as like a PS5, a gold ring, a necklace, etc., you need to take possession of that thing. So if I'm going to put up my PS5 for a $100 loan, you need to take that PS5 into your possession, confirm that it works, make sure there's no issues, and they're not just handing you junk. Say, okay, cool, I'm going to hold on to this for the agreed amount of time, and then when you pay me back, you can have your things back. If people are not willing to do that, or they make an excuse that, hey, I need this also to be able to do this, then that's not a very good collateral. You need to find something that you can hold on to yourself, because you're not going to cheat yourself out of a deal. They might cheat you out of a deal. So you need to be able to do that. You need to have something to hold on to for the duration of the loan. So let's wind it back. Establishing a contract on the terms of what we're going to be doing an exchange for and with, and who, and time and date, and so on. 2, writing out a very clear contract on what is going to be involved and a time duration. We need to keep that in mind, that time is going to be very important here. And lastly, penalties and fees on violating that contract. So write in a subsection on penalties and fees and have inclusions of, if the debt is not absolved by this time, then we're going to move forward into the penalties and fees section, and then go on with however penalties and fees. Do not be lenient, okay? Do not be lenient in that thing. I know you're gonna trust this person, you love your cat, you love your dog, but they're messing with your finances, they're messing with your assets, and that's not something that should be taken lightly, because again, you earned that stuff. You put in the time and effort to accrue these things, okay? As much as you might love sharing and giving to other people, great, but it is not reciprocated with the same amount of love, because again, it's not theirs. They didn't earn it. They don't have the same respect for it as you do. Another little nugget at the end of this: be able to split friends and business. I'm very good at being able to do that, but again, it does get muddy sometimes. So keep that in mind, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.